If prompts live only in a chat window, you cannot roll back, audit, or prove what production ran. This AiQualtest episode gives product, engineering, risk, and quality teams a practical, vendor-neutral playbook for prompt versioning in CI/CD in 2026. Use a simple operating loop: commit, test, pin, and roll. That loop keeps conversations concrete when stakeholders disagree about quality or risk. Why this matters: prompts are production code for LLM systems. Versioning and CI/CD bring review, testing, and rollback to the same standard as services. Enterprises need pins, owners, and change history for assurance. Enterprises shipping AI into banking, insurance, healthcare, and digital operations cannot rely on hallway demos. Buyers, auditors, and internal second-line risk partners ask for repeatable methods, version artifacts, and clear ownership. If you cannot explain how you tested and what evidence you keep, you do not have AI quality, you have optimism. Core concepts come next. Do not memorize jargon, operationalize each idea into cases, metrics, and gates. Concept 1: Prompt as artifact. Store prompts in source control with IDs and owners. Treat edits like code reviews. In practice, treat this as a measurable property, define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Concept 2: Environment pins. Pin prompt versions per environment. Never latest in production without ceremony. In practice, treat this as a measurable property, define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Concept 3: Eval on PR or run smoke gold sets on every prompt change. Fail the PR when quality drops. In practice, treat this as a measurable property, define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Concept 4: Config separation. Keep secrets and tenant configs out of prompt text. Composition beats copy-paste chaos. In practice, treat this as a measurable property, define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Concept 5: Rollback path. One-click revert to the last known good pin. Measure time to rollback as a reliability metric. In practice, treat this as a measurable property, define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Concept 6: Change notes. Require intent and risk notes on each prompt bump. Future you will need them. In practice, treat this as a measurable property, define what good looks like, attach evidence, and track it across model, prompt, data, and tooling changes. Here is a real-world pattern. Setting: Telecom Care Center rolling out an agent assist prompt across regions. An unversioned prompt tweak in one region quietly changed refund guidance. Support leaders could not say which wording was live. The team moved prompts into CI with pins, PR evals, and rollback. The next incident was resolved in minutes by reverting a pin instead of hunting chat history. Notice the pattern: define scope, run controlled tests, capture evidence, decide with named owners, and feed failures back into the next cycle. That is how AI quality becomes a system property, not a slide. Common mistakes slow mature programs. Mistake 1: Editing production prompts directly in a vendor console without review. Teams that skip this create silent risk that surfaces in production or audits. Mistake 2: Using floating latest prompts across environments. Teams that skip this create silent risk that surfaces in production or audits. Mistake 3: Skipping evals on prompt PRs because it's just wording. Teams that skip this create silent risk that surfaces in production or audits. Mistake 4: Having no documented rollback owner. Teams that skip this create silent risk that surfaces in production or audits. The antidote is discipline, small goal sets, explicit thresholds, change control, and monitoring that connects production incidents back to evaluation suites. Key takeaways for your team. Takeaway 1: Treat prompts as version production artifacts. Takeaway 2: Pin per environment and test on change. Takeaway 3: Require reviews and risk notes. Takeaway 4: Practice rollback like any other release. Write these into your team wiki and release checklist so they survive staffing changes. Your next steps this week: move your top production prompt into Git with a semantic version and owner. Then, add a PR check that runs a small gold set smoke pack on prompt diffs. Keep the artifacts, prompts, datasets, scores, approvals so you can defend the decision later. Where this fits the AiQualtest method, learn the foundations with AiVELabs, practice with hands-on cases, and validate with governed evaluation evidence. Visit AiQualtest.com and learn.aiqualtest.com. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for weekly AI quality, evaluation, and governance episodes. Additional depth for practitioners. Treat prompt versioning in CI/CD as a controlled experiment. Version the inputs, freeze the environment where possible, record who approved exceptions, and rerun after every material change, model upgrade, prompt edit, retrieval index refresh, or tool permission change. Pair quality metrics with latency, cost, and safety signals so trade-offs are visible to product owners. When results regress, open an incident-style review even if the feature still looks fine in a demo. Governed teams prefer boring, evidence-backed releases over surprising wins that cannot be reproduced.